There you
Oh. Recreation Committee meeting is called to order for April 12th, 2018. And roll call, Mr. Dawson is stepping in for Dempsey. Mr. Travis Turner is on his way, and Mr. Lawless is not here tonight. Okay. Can we have the open invocation by Mr. Jesse Bartlett? Please stand.
Let us bow our head. Dear God, the Father of mankind, the giver of every good and perfect gift, and once again we come to this meeting, and dear God, enable us, whatever decision we make, that it be for the benefit of all the people in the Sanctum Parish. And dear God, when life journey is ended, give us a home in thy kingdom for Christ's sake. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right. Public comment period. If anyone want to speak, they have the green and red card. They're signed up, please. And bring it forward up here. Okay, moving on to item number 4. Director report. BJ, you up?
All right. Welcome back, fellas. It's been a while.
Yep.
Committee with the report for April 12th. As always, we keep on moving forward, trying to improve everything we can, do what we got to do to modernize and, try to keep up, keep our things, looking nice and ready to roll for one. So at Santa Mall Park, we repurposed. We had our old office that we had over there had a nice, gigantic covered roof on it. And then once the flood came through, took care of that building, so that building was taken out. And underneath it, you just had a big dirt area with a still nice, covered thing, basically a 30 by 70 pavilion. So we decided to go ahead and went in there and poured some concrete, and we're converting this over to a full 30 by 70 pavilion with picnic tables. It's going to have some barbecue pits over there. And so just another thing that's open to the public. We will, once everything is completed, then we'll put in deals, talking about an ordinance, see about maybe using it as another rental facility. If you, again, open to the public anytime you want to go, to anyone and everyone. But if you want to rent it exclusively, we want to look into, get with legal and getting details with that to see about possibly turning that into a, to another rental facility for the recreation. So, yeah. We talked about this a few months ago, just modernizing our parks. Well, came across a few new idea deals where they had across the country sweeping these little fitness parks. So we went ahead and purchased some equipment, nice, big time quality at a pretty good price. And we finally got the weather right and got everything caught up where we could actually start on one of them. So our first model that we built at Santa Mall Park. It's a little fitness station. Like I said, it modernizes our parks. It's going to provide the citizens with access to quality equipment that they use your own body weight for exercise. It can be used by adults and children alike. It's all safe, and just like I said, it's using your own body weight for certain things. It offers a multiple variety of different things you can do. And this one here has got push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, some back lifts, and also a leg press area. And like I said, this is our prototype right here. We built it. We have plans. We already had the equipment, and as soon as the time prevails, we have plans. Another one's going at Legacy Park in the Prairie-Vergosma area, and then we're going to put one in Lowry Park in Donaldsonville. And like I said, this was actually just completed yesterday as far as the beginning part right there. And I've already tested the equipment out themselves, and look, it's nice, and it's going to be a real good deal. I mean, it's kind of how that one's laid out. Each one of them we're going to put them close to our walking trails. That way, it's all part of it. That way, we encompass it all in one. You have your walking trails going around, and you can stop, get in your other exercises right there. Like I said, again, something that we put out that's again free for the public, for our citizens, because that's what we're always looking to do to keep things rolling like that. We continue with our park upgrades, all throughout the parish, both on the east and the west side. At the ballparks themselves, Like I said, we're trying to improve things as much as we can. We have these little quad hitting stations that are going at all our ballparks. Like I said, again, we've put 2 up so far, 1 at Butch Gore and 1 at Stevens Park. And we still have a couple more that are going to go up, 1 on the west side and then another one at one of our other parks there. Our T-ballers got little AstroTurf mats over there. And I can attest to anyone who's ever coached T-ball, those mats are going to be such handy because they're pre-printed with a home plate and with a batter's box. And when you're telling that kid to put his toes in the blind, you don't have to go over there and draw lines, you know. So, you know, like I said, it modernizes our park, and it's a really handy and helpful tool for all involved over there. All throughout both sides of the parish, we're resurfacing our playing fields themselves. Just really annual upscape, but you can see we've actually kind of upscaled a few of them, and that picture we have up there is of Butch Gore, where we resurfaced the infield there with some a different playing surface, you know, and cost was minimal, and the labor was done by us, and it's looking well. And like I said, we've also done Stevens Park, and we'll be hitting, like I said, all the ballparks throughout the parish. Recreation news and notes. Summertime is quickly approaching. The rec department is in full swing. We are in the process of updating many of our playground systems throughout the parish. We have new playground systems that we've already budgeted for that are going to be added. We've got some outdated or irreparable systems that are going to be removed, you know, and then replaced with the more upgraded ones. Like I said, we've been out there and we've made a few repairs that can be done. We've updated a few things, and then we've made some repairs, and actually had most of the equipment cleaned too. And that's an ongoing process. Like I said, eventually it's kind of a cycle. We'll start, and once we make our rounds, it'll be time to make the rounds again. So that's a never-ending deal there. So we want to continue to keep what we have, maintained the way it needs to be maintained, and kept in good shape. And like I said, we're constantly looking to modernize it and upgrade when possible. As always, throughout, trash and litter and keeping our parks clean is an everyday, every week, every month deal. We call it Operation Cleanup Ascension. My guys are out there, every day, doing what they can do to keep it done. We're on a mission to keep our parks fun, clean, and safe. We do encourage our citizens to help us keep our parks beautiful by disposing of any kind of litter that they may have in the numerous trash cans we have throughout our parks. A key issue here, and it's come up a couple of times in the last few months, is we encourage the public, to contact us. Any concerns, suggestions. If you see anything out of place, because we're limited on the odds we have. We're there. Like everything runs in a cycle. So we're at one park one day. We probably won't see that park fully with the attention we can give it. Again for probably 3 or 4 days. So if in between that time something comes on, feel free to contact us. 225-450-1065, and we'll get right on it. We've had a couple of issues where a couple of complaints, a couple of suggestions, and we try to get on them as soon as possible. I just kind of encourage everyone, hey, contact us. We respond to everything. Let us know, and we'll address it as needed. Before we move to the next one, I also want to address. We had a question, asking us about some gates at some of our parks. At our last meeting. So we kind of still in the beginning phase on that, getting some quotes and options and just trying to get a game plan on how it can be, best implemented and run. We got a couple quotes on, if you have a manual gate, which is what it used to be, well, with that, you have to depend on someone at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night to lock those gates constantly. And, unless we're going to employ some people, that's not going to really be too cost efficient, and yet, there's at any point during the day, someone may need access to the park, whether it's maybe something is going wrong, and maybe the police have to be called or something like that. Well, they got to get in that gate too, So the first option we're looking at is the big one, is actually an electronic gate that can be remotely accessed and controlled. That way, at certain points in the day or night, time for the park to close, we shut the park down, stuff like that. And we got some quotes on that, and we're running in the $5,000-$6,000 range, and for just the installation of the gate itself, and then that's the base model, and add in the features for Wi-Fi access, all that. It's going to be more, and we're still waiting on more quotes on that. But like I said, we're looking into it, and we did go back to the manual gate system too. Those are still going to run, $1,500 to $3,000 like that, and you're still talking about having to manual lock it and get things in, and we're just trying to look at both ways and streamline the process to see how we can do that. And it's beneficial. We talked about one certain park, that was having issues, but it's all of our parks that could use the same thing. So like I said, we went through all that to try to do that. But with that concludes the director's report. Any questions?
All right. Mr. Kluak?
First thing, BJ, Michelle, the whole staff, thank y'all very much. You know, people out there seeing the improvements. They seeing the work you're doing, and you know the weather's getting better, so more people are using them, not only for the sporting events, but just using them. I personally thank y'all for everything y'all been doing for the Santa Moore Park, try to revive it, bring it back, and all, and it's starting to look good.
We appreciate it.
I sincerely appreciate it. I know I beat you up on the gates. And you know, once more, since the last time we had a meeting, you know, we can ask the sheriff's office to make some rounds around there as the guys are patrolling in the Santa Moore area, but my neighbor had monitored a guy that was a truck there all night for like 3 nights, and he got up, and apparently the guy was sleeping there or parking his truck there. You know, I think he was actually living in his truck there.
Right.
And I think y'all talked to him or whatever. And so I know the automatic gate system, and I just worked at the plant. We just put in some, and I know the cost of them. And they work pretty good. I just don't necessarily know how somebody's going to remotely lock the gate, not knowing whether there's somebody back there.
Exactly. That's it.
We're
We're still working to streamline things like that.
That's the
Right.
catch-22 on that.
Mhm.
And so, you know, if you do go with the remote gate, there's a possibility of, you know, I know within drainage and several other departments, we've got some gates that, you know, that the sheriff's office may have a key for, or multiple people got a key, or double locked or whatever. So I just, you know, I've been watching. You guys work hard all day long and half the night. We still got people go down there. That one straightaway at the Santa Moore Park, if you get out there with a radar and shoot them, they're doing 70 miles an hour, okay, from the back coming out. And they passing by a baseball field, too, on their way out.
Right.
So I don't care if we go put concrete curbs as speed bumps, you know, something to just break a wheel or slow them down, one of the two.
Gotcha.
It's, they got people out there that have no respect for other people.
No doubt.
Okay? All right? And they think their mama works there, that their mama's come and clean up their mess.
Right.
And they're not all juveniles, okay?
Right. Oh, yeah.
They're well into their adulthood. I mean,
Right.
well into their adulthood. Physically, anyway. So I would like to continue to continue to monitor. This is not the neighborhood I grew up in 50 years ago, okay? And played there as a young teenager. You know, there's things go on there.
Right.
And we have a different set of folks that we fooling with. So I would like to continue to work with the gate deal, or work with somehow that we shut this park down. Or, you know, I know y'all monitor pretty close during the baseball season and all that, because you always got somebody that y'all gonna have some conversation with in the baseball league. Those league people do a pretty good job of trying to take care of their own. But I know the challenge with the gate. And I know the
Right.
challenge that I've asked of you guys. And I appreciate the effort, and thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Councilman Joseph.
BJ, I know, you said that you was also trying to get barbecue pits for the Santa Moore Park, and I know we've had this discussion, you know, we're trying to do one for, Sotia, Pavilion.
Right.
Have we ever got any clear cut of, you know, what size that gonna be?
Right. See, that's the difference. See, the Santa Moore is more your individual small ones. So like those,
Okay.
you know, those are
All
pretty
right.
clear cut. You can get in order, which we hadn't even ordered them yet. The rest of the beginning says that, but we are still deep in research for Sotia, because it's going to be a little bit bigger and a little bit. It's a little
Okay.
bit different than normal,
That-
but we are still currently, I was actually briefed on it before we walked in the door too. Again, still in the process trying to find exactly what we think is going to fit and be the best to go there. Because then it's a little bit, that pavilion obviously is a little bit different than our,
All
Santa
right,
Moore
that's all-
Park.
That's
you
what I
know,
was
so.
just trying to see, if it was
Right.
gonna be a package, you know, we could get.
Yeah, when we look
something
into
like
the
that,
both,
but-
yeah, like I said, we haven't
Okay.
ordered anything for India, but that's when we definitely will look for packages when we do all of it. So
And looking forward for that new equipment at Lowry Park. That's an excellent park. They exercise there every morning. I mean, they walk every morning.
Right,
so this
that's
here
what
would
we're
be-
looking for. We're looking at the parks already
So-
that have the traffic, and we're gonna put it out there to, you know, like I said, to add a little more to them, and that's probably next on our list, so.
Okay, great.
All right, there we go.
I don't have anything.
With that, we go to agenda item number 5, the summer camp program by Karen Poole.
This literature out to you guys? Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Miss Poole, if you could pull that microphone a little bit closer to you.
How about that?
There you go. I'm half deaf already, so I need all the help I can.
Not a problem. So my name is Karen Poole, and I already run an art program. I have them in the schools. It's an after-school program in a lot of different schools around the parish and other parishes. And it's called Young Rembrandt. And our whole specific niche, if you will, is from 4 years old or pre-K 4 to 6th grade to about 12, even to 14. And what I wanted to do this summer is I wanted to try to bring some of the art. I have parents that are in my program through the schools that are asking me if I offer anything in the summer. And I do in some other parishes that I work in. I do live in Ascension Parish in Geismar, but I didn't find anything we really have in Geismar, and so this was my whole idea. I wanted to try to bring something. Summer is fast approaching, so if you will, this summer, what I thought we could do is start off with, and I will just bring my program in. Definitely open to bring other programs in. My time is just limited, though. But it would be a 3-hour program, and it would be drawing, and then, of course, coloring. And we would always use dry medium. And so my idea was you had to have a 5-day-a-week camp, 3-hour program. So Monday through Friday, from 9 to 12, using the Oak Grove Park Pavilion over there, that area. And each week we would have a different theme. And so I listed for you the different themes, and on the next page is a picture of one of the pictures of what we would be doing that week. So, for instance, the first week we would do household pets. And the mediums on that would be a cross between color pencils or markers and Sharpies, or even pastels. And then, so you can see I have a list of different programs. There's 2 weeks within the summer, and I'd like to run it throughout all of June and July. Excuse me. And on 2 of those weeks, I'd like to do a total pastel workshop for the kids. We would do all the cleanup. Excuse me, I'm trying to get rid of a cold. We would handle all the cleanup, handle all the administration, handle the enrollment online through us. But this is basically what I'd like to do, is be able to do that. The cost per child, it's going to run about $10 an hour per child with all of our supplies and cost on it. But the fee per week would be very reasonable. It's $150 per week, and that would include all their supplies. And then for the facility, to help pay the parks for the facility and all, a 20% fee from that is basically what I'm looking at doing. It is a step-by-step program. My teachers, we have a lesson plan. Give me 1 second. Just to give you an idea of how it is, it's done real professional. So we would have a lesson plan, and to assure that each child is successful in what we're doing, if you can see this, I don't know if you really can see it, but it is a step-by-step drawing. So we take them, we explain it, we go through it, and then we really take them through a step-by-step drawing of each picture that they're going to be drawing on it so that they can really be successful with it. That's what I'd like to do.
Councilman Fuller?
Ms. Poole, thank you very much.
Yes.
Appreciate your interest in art. So basically, you'll furnish everything,
I will furnish everything, right.
okay?
I'm sorry. That's correct. That is for the volunteers to run the programs, to make sure that someone is always there when the children are there. No child will ever be left alone or unattended. That would include all the supplies and the covering of the tables, especially when you're doing pastels, to make sure nothing is messed up and the cleanup, and we do all the cleanup, the whole thing.
What are the ages?
So the ages would be from 7 to 14. I can do it. I think that's what I had put on there, 7 to 14.
Yeah.
No, I didn't give you the ages. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You know, I was asking, I know my daughter likes to draw, and I think I might be interested in sending her here.
Right. You know, we have some programs that do handle the younger children, but this summer it would be really difficult because it has to be a shorter period of time, so I would need a lot more people there on it. Their attention span's a lot shorter than 3 hours. The most I can grab their attention is an hour. But it is a wonderful program, just to let you know, the academic benefits too. You know, most of us are visual learners. And so when we learn and we are teaching them the fundamental of art, and that is drawing. And so even when we learn that, it helps them so much in their academic life, whether it's reading or whether it's arithmetic, math, science on abstract and comprehension. So, yeah.
Councilman Joseph?
Man, are you a nonprofit organization?
No, sir, I'm not.
Councilman Dawson?
Is this going to shut down part of the facility there?
Yes, I would be using the whole house because I kind of peeked in your window and it doesn't look like you have any divided room. So I would really need that whole house at Oak Grove
Oh,
so that I have, you know, the quiet and the attention.
I think Michelle's got an answer.
Her program is going to run morning times,
Yes.
which doesn't impede on any rentals or anything that we have at those parks. And yeah, I mean, we've been in discussion. We're going to open it up and try it at Prairieville and hope to expand out if it's a workable, you know, thing. So that's it. Tonight, we're just asking for a motion to enter into contract negotiations with legal.
What I'm wondering is, what would be the rental rate for this building normally?
$125 for 2.5 hours.
So we're gonna, I see where she's offering 20%, I don't know where this is, 360 per week. Is that different than our standard rental rate?
It's different than our standard rental rate, except for the fact that this is gonna be like a combined, we want to implement summer programs. We don't have the staff to staff them by ourselves, but it's definitely, you know, I think it's beneficial to the community. So that's why we wanted to just go into negotiations with legal and see where we land.
I'm kind of, one, I see this partnering, it makes me a little bit nervous. And secondly, the fact that she doesn't have that she's a for-profit.
Now, we were asked multiple times at council meetings to incorporate, you know, something more than baseball, basketball, and so on. So this is kind of our emphasis steps into it. Like I said, you know, it's the beginning stages of it. This is, you know, projected numbers. It could be more or less, you know, depending on her numbers. And like I said, if you we can, at another time, we can break everything. If we broke the numbers down, if we did all the overhead on it, if we're the ones that hired everyone to take care of all this, it's probably going to far exceed that. So, even though she's for profit, she's providing a recreation opportunity for us that if we provided it, it would cost us a whole lot more. And like we said, 9 to 12 is not taking away any of our rental spot because no one's renting weekday 9 to 12, so it's kind of a, especially in the embassy is a good partnership with that. Like I said, we're trying to expand in something more than the deal and giving these opportunities. Kind of, she has her own entity, but we're trying to, basically have a partnership in this and partner up so she can help us as the parish and recreation provide, more than what we provide now. So.
Yeah, I know that's one of the things, Bill, that we was doing, when we did the interview, we was asking what type of programs they would do besides just the basketball,
Right.
baseball, what else we do?
Yeah, I mean, just,
Softball.
So what kind of
And I am
insurance
a
requirements do we have?
for-profit.
What kind of insurance requirements do we have? Or what kind of
That-
insurance does she have?
Yeah, O'Neill is gonna work through all of that with his negotiations, and we have to bring it back to y'all, before, when we just figure out a plan. We just want, permission to see if it's something that we can work out. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but we would like the opportunity to try to,
yeah. I mean, nothing would be done without insurance or hold harmless agreements. All that. That's why we're asking for the motion to bring it to legal to get it started. This is the idea that we're throwing out tonight, and then we want just a motion just to get it talked about. Then once everything's lined up, it can be brought back to you guys again.
Councilman Kluwat?
Yeah, real quick. Explain to me one more time about the staffing. I'm good with filling the void at the park and getting something out there for children, okay? And I'd like to see it grow. So explain to me your staffing. You use the word you're charging and you use the word volunteer, so I don't understand all that. That's normally not the same
I'm not
sentence.
sure where I used the word volunteer, so
I
if
apologize,
did.
then I'm the
Yeah,
volunteer.
because I do pay all my
Somebody said
staff.
volunteers a while ago.
Oh.
I
Yes.
apologize. Okay, well, I'm clear.
Yeah.
I'm clear. You hiring people to do that.
Exactly.
All right.
I do
That's-
pay.
Okay,
Councilman Joseph?
but with that, I'd like to make the motion that we allow the administration to negotiate and come back to us.
Got a motion by Councilman Kluwat,
I'm a second it,
second by Councilman Joseph.
but I got a question.
Any objection?
I got a,
No objection. I can go ahead and pass the motion, right? Then we ask questions.
no.
No, okay,
Before.
right.
No.
Councilman Joseph got a question.
Michelle, what time the water spray park open? And when it open, are the kids, where is the bathroom? I can't recall where is the bathroom for those kids.
okay, well, we do have Oak Grove later down on our agenda. The bathrooms are shared with inside, however, the, classrooms are separate, and there is a divider in there. If you had to, separate your classes, there is a divider in there. Oak Grove is gonna be, it is what it is now. There's gonna be a delay in it opening this year, because it's got some repairs.
Okay, I just.
So normally it would be May, I think right after Memorial Day, but it won't be that for Oak Grove this year.
Okay, I have no problem with legal looking at this situation. I
Were you
mean,
asking what time it open? Or the date? Were you asking
well,
what
the
time?
park, when I say Oak Grove, the park right now is closed,
The
The
park is
splash
open.
park is closed.
Splash Park is closed.
all right, and it's open up, what time the sprinklers come on?
On a regular operational day, 8 a.m. It's closed on Mondays for maintenance, 8, and the ordinance states, the park closes at 10.
Okay,
It'll be at the same time that this class is.
yeah, that's what I wanted.
And to answer, so the restroom facilities in there, building's made, it's all inside, but the class, like you wouldn't, the public splash using the bathroom wouldn't interfere with the class, and then the class also wouldn't hinder them because it's the same building, but it's all partitioned and separated off, so.
Well, we'll let O'Neill figure this out. I think this might be a problem, though.
We got a motion by Councilman Kluwat and seconded by Councilman Joseph. Do we have any objection? Without any objection, the motion passes.
Thank you.
With that, we go to agenda item number 6, the renewal of the AYBA contract by Mr. Romano.
Yeah, we're asking for our annual renewal of our AYBA contract, or, wait for the thing to come back up. For $3,635. It's an annual thing we do. You know, with AYBA, parish-wide, we don't have, enough basketball facilities to run our whole league, and so we partnership with the school board and use their facilities. So what we do is we have a contract with AYBA and fund them slightly to help them take care of the facilities they use, with that. So, like I said,
Motion, we accept this agreement.
I second.
I have a question.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Councilman
Matty,
Kluwat.
ask a question.
Okay, I'm all right, I know we've been doing this, but I'm all right with it. So is AYBA paying anything to the schools?
Yeah, they make donations.
So they pay the school. That's the donation, whatever you want to call it.
But they don't pay for the uses of the facilities.
No.
Like I said, but this money does help them donate and then make sure that basically we use it with our little partnership we have with the school board, and this way they can leave the facility the way they found it. You know what I'm saying? That way it's not, no one has any burden on that. It's the same thing with us. When the school board comes and uses some of our facilities, they make sure that it's all taken care of when they leave.
I
So,
understand. I just want to make sure that we're not giving the association money and they're going to pay the school to use
no,
the facility.
that's
I
not.
think
It would be a lot more than that. We only have one gym facility,
I
2
know.
courts.
Yeah,
So then, and they play at 6, when all our gyms are up and running in the parish, we play at 6 or 8 of them, so.
Travis trying to get you some more, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
Councilman Dawson.
I just looked at this a minute, but I see, like in the CV, about the 5th paragraph down, AYBA agrees to file any and all other reports, such as workman's comp insurance. But it doesn't say they have to have workers' comp, it just says file reports. Are
Well,
we wanting them to have
well, we
workers'
can
comp?
we can have legal look at it and change the right there, but they are an Ascension Parish program. Like I said, we've been through this before. We have, there's a separation in there, but they run our basketball on our behalf.
They are
And we
a
have,
nonprofit organization.
yeah, they're nonprofit, and we have all, hold harmless
All I'm
agreements.
saying is if we want them to have workers' comp, we ought to say it rather than just say file the report.
Right. Like I said, that's all. This is legal that our legal created, years ago. So if we need to update it, we can update it.
Have them take a look at it.
The next paragraph, it says agrees to indemnify and hold harmless, but there's no requirement for insurance.
We carry the insurance.
So what are they indemnifying us against?
They run the program. They just run the program.
Anything they get sued for.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, they're not gonna have any money if they don't have insurance.
Once
You
again,
can sue the organization person.
we've been through this here. O'Neill, we have an intergovernmental basis, an intergovernmental agreement for them to run their program. The baseball is the same way.
Right.
The basketball, any league that the parish have, we do not run it. Only league we run is on Donaldsonville side, the basketball, and we have a director and we schedule and do a.
But this is a nonprofit, is that correct? A
But is it-
501c3 or what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that if something does happen and it is sued, the parish will end up paying for it.
But the registration is really the parish buying the insurance when they register, correct?
Yeah, we buy, insurance on them, and then they fall under our umbrella. And it's.
Well, what are they indemnifying us against?
We got to ask legal on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, legal drew it up, and I'm sure it's more or less anything not covered by
Huh?
insurance.
It's an extra level before you get to the parish. I mean, you're gonna get to
Well.
it still.
I won't pursue it any further, but normally, I'd rather have insurance than just this saying they indemnify them. But y'all are happy, I'm happy.
Questions, no questions? We had a motion by Councilman Joseph, second by Councilman Kluwat. Any objections? No objection, the motion passes. With that, we go to agenda item number 7, the baseball softball update.
All right, we have on the screen, pull it up. All right, baseball and softball, both have hit the ground running. On the east side, we've already got games starting at Stevens Park, Paula Park, Santa Mall Park, and then over on the west side, registration was just completed. It was, they were, don't want to call it a takeover, but the parish itself is our first year in trying to make it one parish, one league. So we do have the same directors from the east side that are running the west side now. And things are a little bit different on that side as far as starting dates and stuff like that. So like I said, they just finished their registration, organized teams last night, and they're going to hit the ground running, I believe, on Monday to start practicing. Want to applaud the director, Mr. Byron. He had, it took a little bit. Mr. Joseph up there did a great job in helping us out. And in the end, the process took us in a bunch of different directions, but in the end, it all worked out. We have everything over there we needed to get rolling. For the most part, numbers have increased again, which is always a good deal. Softball on the east side of Busch Gardens, same thing. We had a big increase, for 2018, and they just started their practices too. And pretty much everything within those two are running smooth.
Question by Councilman Joseph.
Yeah, BJ, I also want to give props to Byron Borderline. Yeah, he really came over on the west side, went on the radio station and everything. Just to give the public some numbers, we have about over 1,800 kids in the public school system on the West Bank. And the first couple of weeks, we only had like 50, but after Byron and myself and your staff went out to the public, I think we're now over 250, close to it.
Right around that range, right.
Right. So, and if your kid on the West Bank still want to get involved with baseball, I'm pretty sure Byron will work with you to
we're
get
still
your kid.
open and still adding. And like I said, we want to applaud everyone, including Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Tuesday was the preview. And they came out and still needed more volunteers than that. And the messages we got from Byron is that the West Side came together, the citizens over there, and got the volunteers he needed. And like I said, everything's kind of falling into place.
All right. The coaches, did he find enough coaches? I know because he emailed me and asked me to be a coach, and I didn't answer that email. So
I think he's just about there. Like I said, he had a few. Go ahead and add on after Tuesday. He may still be looking for one, so you may get another phone call. So,
all right. Thank you very much.
all right.
All right, if we don't have any other questions, we'll go to agenda item number 8, special events ordinance at Fort Lala Field.
Well, listen, we'd like to
Oh,
combine. We'd like to combine
We had that one already.
8 and 9.
Yeah, we had that one already, yeah.
We'd like to combine the two because they kind of fall under the same chain what we're asking for,
Okay, that's fine.
if that's possible. So we're looking for an amendment of an ordinance at Frank Sotil. The original ordinance was put out with a price set for its rental, which was before we had the kitchen installed. So with that, it was necessary to go ahead and try to get the ordinance changed on that. And it's it was $125 a day. But with that, now we want to include the use of the kitchen and cooking area and increase the ordinance to $250 per day.
Okay. Since you have one ordinance, so if you just go ahead with the Lala Field, and then we can approve both of them with one motion.
Gotcha. And then at Lala Field, we have a standard rate to rent, all our ballparks. Well, with Lala being as big as it is and, an old classic stadium with plenty of seating, there are times when there's special events that like to put events on, like concerts and, other stuff like that. And we'd like to put another ordinance that we have a special events rental fee. Because, it's kind of a loophole right now. Someone could, tell us they're doing whatever, and it just tell us they want to rent, for the normal 250 fee, and get to come in and do a whole lot more than what what that 250 covers. So we want a special events ordinance that's $1,000 per day, and within that it'll allow for alcohol at these events, which of course will follow all the specifications of that you would need to have alcohol at our events. So it's not like we're saying $1,000 and now they can sneak in alcohol. No, they'll still have to follow all the insurance and the regulations that we put on for them to have that. So
I have a motion to approve this ordinance.
Sotil, you going with Sotil first? Okay.
Well,
They're in the same
it's
order.
all on one ordinance, but they separated separate, but it's one ordinance with both of the
I'll
fees.
second that.
Got a motion by Councilman Joseph, second by Councilman Kluat. Any objection? Got a question?
I was just asking about the kitchen on the first one on the Sotil Pavilion, the kitchen area. That's, everything's good on there.
yeah, it's been completed. Everything's rock and roll. The only thing we're doing now is on the like Mr. Joseph brought up earlier, is trying to find and get the right fit for the type of grill that we want to put out there.
Okay, so what you looking for? A big gas grill or?
No, it's a regular big barbecue grill where they put their own coal in it.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
it have to be about 5 to 6 foot
I'm
long.
just saying, I don't have nothing against it, but I can tell you this is still for this use, including the cooking area, $250 is a good deal,
Right.
all right? And on the second part, on La Rogera Field, on the, $1,000, like I said, everybody, all of our parks and stuff, when they rent, and if somebody's gonna have an event with alcohol, they have to go and do the permit, and then
Right.
it usually comes in front of whatever council members.
Have to also go in front of city council because
Okay,
it's
the
located in the
gotta
city.
get City over there.
Right.
Right.
And
Yeah, we're just looking at ordinance to actually have a price set, so in the event this does come up, because like I said, it's not to skip anything, so everything still has to go through the same pass that it had to go before, so.
So when they do the 1,000, I'm just asking on the La-Las, if they do the 1,000, is there anything in the facility that they don't get?
I believe it's all inclusive.
That's what I want.
There's
I didn't know
not,
if we had something on the outside.
it's just the bathroom
Yeah.
and the
I
stadium.
know what it is.
And electric.
Yeah, I've been there.
electric.
So that's just total use, just like they do Santa Monica.
Right, right.
For a baseball tournament and all, you got from the gate,
Right.
got it all. Yeah, good deal, thank you.
All right, with no objection, the motion passes. We go agenda item number 10, the Hillerville Park update by Myers Engineering. I think you got you don't have to comment. I don't have to comment. You got to comment?
Mr. Bartlett said he didn't need a card.
Oh.
You as his councilman, he want,
I would hope,
He's got a card, I saw it.
Mr. Myers would give me all the information, I have some questions after.
All right, we'll let Mr. Myers
My
go first.
my intent is to try and give you all the answers you need.
So we'll let Mr. Myers go first, then
In
we'll,
terms of a time frame too?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
That's good, well, y'all don't need to listen to me till after.
Well, thank you so much. I'm Ray Hartley with Meyer Engineering, and I'm here to give you an update on the Hillerville Park project. Just to give you a real quick update on the scope of the project. The scope that was revised originally was for us to install a 40 by 70 pavilion, restroom facility, parking lot with handicap accessible stalls, two entrances off of Galaxy, with floodlights up in the front for the parking lot and the pavilion, then the lighting for that. That's kind of the scope of the work that is entailed in what we've been asked to do. Met with BJ and Michelle, we've kicked it off, I guess, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we've been and one of the things that came out of that meeting was the need for us to really watch and monitor the cost of this project, ensure that we get as much as we can for the amount of money that was available. So to do that, anytime you increase the size of the facility to a 40 by 70 like it is, you start getting concerned about the slab. How big is the slab? How thick is the slab? And so we went out there and got the DPW to go back out there and re-roll the site. That was some of the work you saw out there, Mr. Jesse, was when they went out there and re-rolled the site. And then we got Recreation to hire a geotech so we can go out there and actually do a soil sample. And while a soil sample may cost a little bit of money, at the end of the day, it'll allow us to tighten up the design, which then will allow us not to leave the assumptions on the contractors, which will then drive our cost up. So again, we're trying to do it in a way that makes sense, and at the same time, we're being conscious of what the cost is going to be. One of the things that we also did was we could have hired a topo surveyor to go out there and topo the stuff that we need to tie everything down, but we decided let's use DPW. They're available, they do it, they're capable. But we had to get in the line behind some of the drainage work, so it took us a few weeks to get them on board. But they've now they're finishing up next week. Geotech's there tomorrow, so both Geotech and Topo will be completed. And we've already started looking at the facility itself. What you see up here is just a couple of real quick. You can see what the pavilion could potentially look like in
Yeah, I
all
was
three.
gonna ask which one of these a hill reveal, you know?
Well, all three of them are capable. All three are possible, but what happens is we just wanted to give you an idea of this. It's a pretty big facility. You saw the one that BJ came up with on up at Santa Mall, but the octagon on the left is, of course, the one I like, but that one takes a little bit more effort to form the slab. So it gets into be a little bit more, cost may go up a little bit. The other two are both 40 by 70s. They're both very, very good facilities. They both meet the budget requirements that we need. So again, we just started looking at this last week because we know we're getting ready to start when the topo and stuff comes in next week. So again, I think we're making good progress with it, but as soon as the information comes in from the Geotech and the topo guys, we're ready to hit the ground running, and we hope to knock out the design within about 3 to 3.5 weeks.
What? 3.5 weeks.
So, well, hang on, I'm coming. So the design, here's the proposed schedule. So we think that we can get the design started on April 23rd. We think it's gonna take 3 to 4 weeks to get done, and that includes also sitting down with BJ and Michelle and reviewing everything, and also with the administration, going over what we do, make sure we meet the budget and stuff. We can advertise by the end of May. We advertise by the end of May, that means we start construction at the end of June. Take us basically 30 days to get the construction done, to get the contractor started with his contracts. The delivery time on these types of facilities is somewhere between 90 and 120 days, which means we've got to have a 120 to 150 day window for a contractor. Everything will be ready to go, but we got to have it. It'll all come out with and then be assembled. The restroom can be assembled. The parking lots everything can be done, but to get the facility there and hooked up in the pavilion, that's what's going to take up a little bit of time.
So you're looking at October?
5 months from June, end of June.
November.
Oh, from the end of June?
To December.
It'd probably be Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Now, it could be done faster if we can get the order in at the right time. We might be able to expedite it a little bit, but it's always going to be based off of the delivery of things that we don't control. We can pour concrete, we can lay asphalt, we can pour concrete, but at the end of the day, we can't get the stuff made and then sent to us to be installed.
What is your construction
Budget?
Councilman Kluwat.
Yeah, what's your budget?
It was right around 345, 350. Right at 350.
350, 355.
Yes, sir. And we're very cognizant of it. We're watching, and we really are. And again, our attempt was to try and.
Is that just construction, or is that engineering and construction?
That's construction.
What is the engineering budget? Where are you going to end up at?
That already got done. That got done in November.
Yeah, that's
been-
49,999.
Yeah, that was done. That was done last year,
Okay,
end of last year.
right in the 10% range.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
What you looking at on your construction materials? You looking at metal
Yes, sir.
metal roof?
That right now, we're just getting started, Mr. Andy. We hadn't really got that far. This is a prefab system. It's easier to put up. We could go with some other things that we might save a little bit of money. Might cost a little bit more maintenance wise. These systems are pretty durable from everything that I've read about them and what our engineers have read about them. So those are the ones we're starting with.
They look good.
Oh, it's a good look. They're all good looking facilities.
Okay, you're looking at 3, but when the decision gonna be made as to which one of the 3?
Sometime over the course of the next couple of weeks, because we're gonna be designing, starting April 23rd. I don't know about y'all, like I said, I really like that octagon myself, but we gotta see whether it fits the budget. That's the thing.
And what's the feasibility of it? That's also, because it's a public facility, it's beautiful, I like it.
Mhm.
But the one in the middle looked like you could use it better.
You're probably correct. Hey, it's the square footage is not the octagon is basically 60, it's a little bit smaller, but it's 68 foot beam, and then the other one is 70 foot. So your square footage is not that far off. So,
So it's just the way the camera angles are taken, that's why the one in the middle looks so much
sir.
bigger?
it looks that way, yeah.
What's the 330,000?
355.
That's gonna be, estimated cost for the pavilion?
No, that's for everything. That's the driveway, I'm sorry. That's the driveways in. We have to hook up to the sewer and the water out on Galaxy. That's to bring the electrical there, we have a panel board. And what we're also trying to do is we want to be able to take and plan for a future phase expansion. If anything ever happens in the back, we want to have the plug-ins where we don't have to go back and re-hook up electrical stuff. So we're going to stub outs
So this first stage
I just say it looks
involve
like small.
pavilion
in the restroom
and the restroom
and the parking that goes with
and
it.
the parking.
Yes, sir.
And the underground and electric.
The underground for the underground for the floodlights for the pavilion and the restroom and the parking lot, but not in the back. No, sir.
So
We
you will,
couldn't run that, we can't run all the way back past where the.
so you will have, I know you're gonna light under the pavilion and you're gonna light.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna light the parking area or light the area.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
just most.
Everything,
important.
everything from the road,
Yeah, most important is area lighting.
it's the area lights where the parking lot
For
is.
safety
And there's
and
20
security.
stalls, with two of them being, two of the stalls are handicapped.
Yeah.
Councilman now, the lighting district couldn't take care?
We can take care
Other
of,
part?
we can take care of the lights around the walking trail. And it should be, I think we might be able to take care of the lights that go underneath there as well, I'm not sure.
We
I
actually-
know for sure around the walking trail.
Councilman, we actually, back when Miss Amy was here originally, when she was a PM on it, that was some of the things that she talked about. But we'll have to get the new PM up to
Right,
speed
yeah,
on it.
I
But
would
that is
definitely-
that's something she talked about was getting a lighting district.
Yeah, I would definitely want the lighting district to pay for those lights there.
And there's a whole, I mean, you could expand this after the pavilion all the way down to the backside, however far you go. We just want to make sure we provide the provisions for it when we go further back. So we don't, just be cheaper next time you do tie into it.
Does any drainage involved in that, Mr. Jones?
Just a little bit, just a little bit. They've already cut a swale on the north, they've already cut the swale on the north side next to where the trail and all that is. Yes, sir. And so they've cut that swale. The ditch in the front then goes to a cross ditch. And so both of those culverts that are in we have to pull them out and relay them. But once we do that, that covers everything in the front. And then we'll drain, we're gonna drain everything drains to the front from what it appears, and we're gonna make it go back to the front.
That's gonna, the design or whatever the case may be now. I'm talking about that, what was supposed to be that walking trail. That's, interference with that?
If I understand you correctly, the walking trail that they've covered up part of it and then back, well, it's gonna be, we'll have to redo a parking trail in the next phase. Well, we are gonna have a trail up from the parking lot to the pavilion, but we're not going any further back towards it. Yeah, that'd have to be done in another phase.
In
No, it's
addition to the
it's adjacent
70
to it.
part. So
It's
it's
adjacent
another,
to it.
it's another building?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
20 by 20 block
Okay.
building.
I move that we move this forward.
Second.
They fighting over it.
Got a second?
Motion by Councilman Dawson, seconded by Councilman Kluwat. I'm assuming we don't have any objection. Motion passes.
Be the third?
We had a third.
Third time's the charm.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 11, the Oak Grove Splash Park update.
We touched it a little bit earlier. The Oak Grove Splash Park itself is being updated. It's just mostly just an informational thing for you guys to know that we're just getting to the final stages where they can begin work on it. But the park itself will be under construction to make necessary repairs to fix the drainage problems that did cause like the unsightly black stains that kept coming on it. You know, and there was a leak in there too, so also that's running our bills up like that. So all that's already been through. So like I said, it's got a couple more phases to get through. But with that, once the final okay is approved, the park itself will be closed for 30 days for the repairs. So we just want to get that knowledge out to the public and to you guys. So when you start getting phone calls of while the park's closed, that's why it's closed. You know, and then second, as soon as we get the exact dates for when it's going to be, we'll have signs up all throughout the park, you know, before it closes, so the public will be acknowledged that, hey, pretty soon it's going to be closed. So,
Councilman Joseph?
I know we're talking about Oak Grove, but when the opening for Donaldsonville, what is the opening date for that?
yeah, it's usually the same, right around Memorial Day.
Okay.
Councilman Kluwat?
Yeah, when you said it'll be closed for about a month or whatever for the repairs, you talking about the spray park or you talking about the whole park?
We're gonna have to close the entire thing because I mean it's just too compact to do construction in there, you know, and have the public still be in there.
So there's no way for somebody to use the building and the restrooms?
No, I think the building. What I mean by the park is that it's a splash pad and the playground that's enclosed.
Yeah.
So all of that will have to be shut down. The actual building itself will still be available for rental and
Thank you.
use on that.
I want to
so.
make that clear.
Right, right.
Move with adjourn.
Second.
Moved to adjourn by Councilman Dawson, second by Councilman Joseph. No objection, meeting adjourned.